The year is 2024. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in, folks. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 387 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez, and my co-host, as always, is
the magistrate of Caravan City and the most loved guest. Ooh. That's probably not true, but in my mind it is. The most loved guest in the history of Toyhio. I'm Captain Joe Shoes from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, buddy. I gotta tell you something. Word on the street is that's all accurate information you're laying out there, bro. That's what I hear.
Toyhio was one of the coolest conventions I have ever been to.
Loved it.
Ever been to. Just on toys alone. On toys alone, it was incredible. Before the show, now this was just this past week over in Girard, Ohio. Toy that they run, I think, 4 conventions a year, basically quarterly. And it's a one-day event. The vendors came loaded, grail pieces, top to bottom, awesome collectibles everywhere. This place was loaded. So before the show, Brian and I are walking around, seeing the floor, and I'm like, I'm not going to have much of a line. So at some point, I'm going to have some downtime. I'll go walk around and really pick through and look for stuff, because I am looking for stuff for my own collections as well.
Of course.
And we walked around, and I'm looking here, looking there, not like deep digging, but just paying attention. Getting an idea, getting the lay of the land. And I'm just like amazed by how much there is. Then we start the convention, and I had constant traffic at my table. I didn't get to walk around the convention again after that. So I came home with nothing.
Wow.
I bought nothing. But I had a great time there. I met awesome people, sold a bunch of stuff, took a lot of photos, kissed a lot of babies. I did an interview with this vlogger that she wanted to touch my chest hair because she loves bare-looking men. I cannot blame her. But JoeMeZ, I want to show you this. This was given to me as walking around the floor before the show, before the doors open. This guy comes up to me. He's like, Joe Shoes, I have something for you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Thank you. And he goes, oh, I got one for Brian too. I go, now this has got to be cool. And he shows me his table, and it's all like one-of-a-kind custom pieces that he makes and paints himself. And I don't know if they're like PVC or ceramic or whatever. I'm looking at the table. He hands me this box, and it says he handwritten Joe Shoes on it. And I open it up, and I'm going to show it to you right here. And it's a very light little PVC piece, but a custom Captain Joe Shoes figure where he gave me like some fish legs. That were fish socks, I guess, where the fish are kind of eating my legs halfway up my legs.
It's so good, bro.
It's so cool looking.
This is
cool. It's based on, he made like a muscle figure of me as well. So we got like this little muscle figure as well.
Look at that.
And then he made it larger and painted it, for that one. But like muscles were a big thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing.
To see myself as a muscle figure is really cool. And that was like what he sells, these one-of-a-kind pieces that he, sculpts and paints himself. So he made this Captain Joe Shoes for me. I love it. It's going to go on my shelf. I've got a couple of these things now where fans have made like kind of custom figures of me. And it's really humbling to see, because it's pretty awesome. I can't believe someone took the time to actually do that. Time. Yeah, it's you could have made real people. Instead, you made Captain Joe Shoes. So I really like that. You can check out his work. He's Gram of Unicorn Tacos on Instagram.
Okay.
And Gram, like Gram like a drug thing, like GRAM.
Oh, I thought it was like a graham cracker.
No,
Okay,
so it's
great.
Gram of Unicorn Tacos on Instagram. If you want to see all his stuff, and I'll be posting a photo of this figure, obviously, and tagging him that way. I mean, it's very cool. And now I figure he's got the Joe Shoes wearing a championship belt. So I think we need to make that part of the outfit. So I'm going to need to go somewhere and win a championship belt next, I think.
It's been a while. It's been a while since you had some gold accessories, Joe.
Yeah, I don't think I should have lost the last one. That was a mistake. That was an egregious error in judgment.
Bunch of cheaters. That's why. They double cross.
Those Long Islanders. Can't trust them. Thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to subscribe to this podcast. Leave a 5-star review. Watch it on YouTube, youtube.com/@JoeMeZpod. And also like and subscribe there. All the fun stuff. Follow us on all the social media @JoeMeZ and join our Facebook group. It's free. Just search JoeMeZ Podcast on Facebook. Come talk about what you're watching, what you like, what you think we should watch, especially Gomez, as next week we move into March Madness, baby. And Gomez, tell the people what we do for March Madness now.
Oh, we got a bracket. We're gonna do a bracket. You have to do a bracket for March Madness. But now, what are we gonna? What
kind of bracket do we do?
You know, what are we gonna do? So we have some choices. We're not sure exactly where we want to go, and we thought, hey, let's leave it up to our fans. Right? They're good at letting us know what they want. We try to give them what they want. So let's do that here. So we're gonna have a poll up on the site there. Facebook. We want to know what you guys think of these choices. We have action movies by decade. Each bracket would be a decade: 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. See who's got the best action, right? We grew up loving our 80s and 90s, but I don't know. Maybe something new might sneak in, and who knows? Keeping with the action theme, let's pit 2 superstars against each other. Let's do Stallone, Schwarzenegger. These are 2 of our favorites, right? We love these 2, but
I mean, they're the brand names when it comes to the genre.
Like this, but who could win? I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, it's pretty close, right? Like, I don't know who I love more. They both have been so important to us growing up. Maybe we do a sports bracket, right? Because this is March Madness. We could do a bracket on each sport, maybe a baseball bracket, football bracket, tennis, not tennis,
beach
but,
volleyball,
other sports, soccer. We'll figure it out, And last but not least, let's do another actor showdown. This time, let's do comedy. We've talked about this on the group. Adam Sandler versus Jim Carrey. Oh, baby, that's another one. That's off the top of my head. I think I have a winner, but I don't know.
I think I have a winner too. But the fact of the matter is, once you get into the brackets, anything can happen. That bracket could get busted on day one.
So that's our idea here. So please go on to Facebook if you're not already in the group. Search JoeMeZ Pod, and you'll see us there. Join us. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of bullshitting in there. It's a good time.
So those will be up for you to vote on. Basically, you guys are picking the content for the month of March. You're going to have the options. What do you want to see? And we're going to give it to you. Because if there's one thing I like, just like Jordan Knight, it's giving it to you.
Love giving it to you.
So Gomez, that's where we're going. But why don't we hit some breaking news music?
Ooh. Breaking news. Oh, baby. What's breaking? Well, what's been happening this week?
Gomez, Taco Bell. Taco Bell has absolutely decided to own the news cycle for the past couple of days.
I love to hear that.
They had a whole press conference.
I saw they did something. What the fuck was going on?
They basically did like their own D23 of Taco Bell, like what you can expect from us this year.
What's amazing?
Certain influencers got invited to go out there, try new menu items, try items that aren't even confirmed yet or possible test items. I never heard of a fast food restaurant doing this before, or certainly not on this level.
No, but now I need to be invited. I mean, this should be our goal in life, Joe, is to be invited to the Taco Bell.
I
press
thought
conference.
with all my food reviews, like I have to be some kind of influencer, right? I don't know how many more subscribers and stuff I need. So guys, if you're not already subscribed, go to youtube.com/JoeShoes, subscribe for all my food videos. I just put up a couple new coffee creamer reviews. We got the Eggo waffles and maple syrup coffee creamer review. We have the pistachio latte coffee creamer review, went up on Monday. Last week we had the Slam Dunk Oreos, Space Dunk Oreos that went up.
Those.
Oh, okay. But you tried them yet?
Yes, they're good. It's all right.
They're good.
They're fun. The poppin's fun. It's cute. You know, it's not to it.
So get me to the point where Taco Bell invites me to next year's event, because listen to some of these announcements, Gomez. They're gonna have an entire Cantina chicken menu. All different types of Cantina chicken items, healthier chicken, better quality chicken. I'm assuming higher prices. That's the kind of stuff you're paying for. They made it look like Chipotle type items, like burrito bowls and stuff like that.
Okay.
It all looks very appetizing. So there's going to be an entire Cantina chicken menu. Along with that, we're getting Taco Bell chicken nuggets.
What the fuck are we doing?
Now, I think this is a good idea, and I'll tell you why. It's not necessarily for the chicken nuggets, which could end up being terrific.
Sure.
I think with Taco Bell's menu, now you can repurpose the chicken nuggets as well into other new items in the future when you already have the ingredient on hand. So
they'll be chopping that shit up.
Just the phrase Taco Bell chicken nuggets by itself does not enthrall me, but for what the possibilities may be going into the future, I'm like, now I'm interested, because now I want to see what you come out with in a year that you're going to include those chicken nuggets in.
Yeah, crispy chicken, nachos, some shit. All right, I feel you. I got you, bro. All right.
Gomez, how do you feel about Cheez-Its?
I fucking love a Cheez-It.
Well, how would you like a Cheez-It tostada?
Oh, I fucking love this idea, bro. Oh, shit.
Cheez-It tostadas. Good. Now, what if I told you, sure, you can have a Cheez-It tostada, or you could even upgrade it to a Cheez-It Crunch Wrap.
Get the fuck out of here. A Cheez-It Crunch Wrap sounds amazing. And now I want to just make Taco Tuesday and just put Cheez-Its in my fucking taco now. I want it.
So it looks like it's going to be a flat Cheez-It, a big flat Cheez-It. The tostada is just going to be all the ingredients on top. And the Crunch Wrap obviously is going to be the tostada wrapped in the Crunch Wrap.
This is a game changer. Oh, if they start selling this like they did with the Doritos and baby, let's go. Give it to me.
Are you a Baja Blast fan, Gomez?
Not really. I'm not the biggest Mountain Dew guy. I never really got into Mountain Dew.
I've always liked regular Mountain Dew. I've never gotten into any of the other flavors.
Are always so weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Code Red was okay. I think Code Red might be my Pitch Black. I wasn't into. Baja Blast, I think, is okay. Yeah, I don't go to Taco Bell just to have Baja Blast.
I know people do. People love it. Yeah, because it's exclusive. So I get it.
But it's not my thing. KFC has an exclusive Mountain Dew as well, where it's some kind of citrusy. It's I don't like it.
Buffalo Wild Wings has one too. I know.
So not my thing. But if you are into Baja Blast, how do you feel about a Baja Blast gelato?
Interesting. I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea.
small cup of gelato, Baja Blast flavored. So if you like that flavor, I assume you're going to like the gelato or want the gelato. Or this is a test item right now. They are hoping that it does well enough that maybe they can get it in stores probably toward the end of the year. Maybe you would like a slice of Baja Blast pie.
I think I'd rather have the pie than the gelato. I think it'll work though. The flavor, because it's kind of like a fruity pie. It looked weird though. That's a weird looking pie.
From what I've seen the pictures of it, it looks like like a pecan pie is that pie filling.
Yeah.
So it looks like that, but like the neon green hue from Baja Blast, and then it looks like it has a little whipped cream on it. So I assume it would come kind of packaged like Oreo. I shouldn't say Hershey's does their Hershey Sundae pie at Burger King or whatever. So it will come in like that singular pie slice case if they get this out, if they decide to put it out. But it is weird looking. It almost looks like gelatin in a way.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
And JoeMeZ, this is what I think is the main event. It's a test item right now, but I saved it for last for a reason, because anyone with taste buds and a heartbeat has loved themselves at some point in their lives a Choco Taco.
Bro, what are you telling me right now? What's happening?
They are testing.
Oh my God. Holy shit.
From Salt and Straw, an upgraded Choco Taco 2.0 with 4 dipping options.
What the fuck is that? Cheesecake,
chocolate chili, cinnamon wild berry, or mango jalapeno. And you can dip your Choco Taco into it.
This sounds stupendous. I mean, I'm not looking forward to spending $8 on a Choco Taco, but
that's what it sounds like. Yeah,
I do want to try this really bad. Like, this dip.
From the person I follow who went to this event, they said the Choco Taco was incredible.
I'm telling you, those dipping sauces sound great. And just a fancy Choco, I miss it. I love it. I can't wait to have it back in my life. Please don't disappoint me, Taco Bell. Please.
So JoeMeZ, that's all I got for the news. Just one other quick thing. I wanted to get to the Taco Bell stuff because it really just dominated the feed in this little realm that we cover. But also Wendy's is having a new drop coming March 13th. The Orange Dreamsicle Frosty.
Oh, give it to me. Yep. I'll do it. I love it. We talked about it recently, right? We were
talking about creamsicles recently.
I'm not, I don't want it all the time, but if I'm in the mood for it, give it to me. Yep. I'm excited for that. Oh, baby. Wendy's. Yes. Oh, and I wonder, I'll use my free keychain. Oh, the best.
So that'll be out March 13th nationwide. Should have no trouble finding it. So that's it for the news, JoeMeZ. But we also had a Super Bowl this past week.
Did we?
Taylor Swift won the Super Bowl. Everybody went home happy. 49ers will have to go home and shake it off.
Sorry, bro. Fucked up.
But whenever we get a Super Bowl, you and I, we're football fans to an extent. You much more so than me at this point. But we're really watching for the commercials.
Sure.
And we had a report last week or the week before that the advertisers were going to be playing it safe with the ads this year. And boy, did they ever.
I'm trying to think because I'm like, oh, we got to talk about commercials. What's a memorable commercial? I think maybe one thing I have in my head. The rest, I can't really tell you.
I have a couple. I think one that we already talked about was the Paramount Plus commercial.
Sure.
Patrick Stewart. And
I wasn't counting that
because that was one of the best ones that aired that night. Yes. That was still up there for me. And I think really the two that really stood out as new ones that I hadn't seen were the Ben Affleck and Tom Brady, the Dun Kings for Dunkin' Donuts.
That's what I was thinking of. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of as most memorable. Definitely.
The other for me was the State Farm with Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a good neighbor.
Can't say neighbor. Yes, sure, of course. We love Arnold. It's cute, but again, nothing crazy.
No,
Yeah.
it seemed that everyone had the same formula. Was let's get a
A
celebrity that
celebrity.
you will know and put them in a weird situation. We saw it with
Yes.
so many. So like every company was
Christopher
doing the same thing.
Walken.
Christopher
Everyone doing the
Walken,
voice to him.
Aubrey
Yeah.
Plaza.
Yeah.
So everyone was kind of working the same formula, trying not to be offensive. One thing, we got a couple religious ads
Crazy, right?
where I want to say it was probably $5 million for a 30-second ad. So if you're a church and you've got $5 million,
Hey.
and now people may get offended by me saying, I'll deal with it.
Oh, well.
If you've got $5 million to spend on a 30-second Super Bowl ad, maybe, just maybe, we should start taxing churches.
Yeah, I think you can afford some taxes.
Yeah.
I think so. You know, pretty crazy.
So,
Everyone lost their mind because there was a Temu commercial. The
multiple.
app where maybe you get what you ordered, maybe you might, and they had multiple. How the fuck did
You can shop like a billionaire.
That's what your credit card info is for. That's the Super Bowl commercial.
I'll tell you, one of the ads that stood out to me as being absolutely horrible was this Snapchat ad.
I saw there was a Snapchat ad. I didn't see. I saw it like afterwards. Like, oh, there was a Snapchat. Like, what?
It basically promoted all these other forms of social media, and it was showing you like Instagram, TikTok, Reels, this, that, and then at the end it goes less social media, more Snapchat, and it was like, what?
I don't even understand.
I didn't understand. I'm like, what are we even doing here, guys?
Like,
who okayed this?
Those places seem fun. I wanna go over there.
I was like, all you did was make me want to go on TikTok.
That's interesting. Wow. Okay.
There was also a decent M&M's commercial with like people who were almost champions. So it was Dan Marino, and then they bring in other athletes that never won a championship, and then they bring in Scarlett Johansson, who's never won an Oscar. Stuff like that. So it was fun.
Good. I just I can't think of it. What about, and even my complaint here is why are we doing teasers for movie trailers? Hey, come to the website after the Super Bowl to watch our movie trailer. What are we doing? Put the fucking trailer on the Super Bowl.
That's what Twitter is for.
Like, what are we doing? Why even waste the money then? Just put it on Twitter. It's the same difference.
Yeah. But speaking of trailers, we got the new trailer for Wicked. Underwhelming, I would say it looks. I'm not necessarily running out to see Wicked anyway. I've never seen the show.
I'm interested because I don't know nothing about it. Never seen the show. It's been a big thing in Broadway. My complaint is that this is a 2-part movie. And yes, so this is only part 1. And I've heard from people that part 2 of the play is where things start falling apart. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting.
I know a couple of the songs, mainly because they were on episodes of Glee back in the days, and I loved Glee.
Of course.
So, Defying Gravity, I think, is a banger.
I don't know. I mean, I know but I don't really know the song. Yeah.
But really, we were there for the trailer to Deadpool and Wolverine, basically the 3rd installment of the Deadpool movie series. The movie that's going to resuscitate the Marvel Cinematic Universe. JoeMeZ, is it going to do that?
I think it is, because it's the only Marvel thing coming out all year. It's also a different kind of Marvel thing. It's not the same old. It's going to be R-rated, so they're still doing Deadpool stuff. And I think it's going to really confuse everyone, because this movie's going to open big. It's going to have legs, and we're all going to be wondering, so what's going on with Marvel? Is it dead? Is it not dead? I just think Deadpool is popular enough in a year where there's nothing else going on. I think Deadpool is going to be massive.
I watched the trailer. Did you watch? I know you're not a big trailer guy.
I watched some of it. I got the, I'm like, oh, look, and I'm watching, it's a Deadpool movie. He's, saying wacky things, showing up in wacky scenarios.
It's a really well done trailer.
It's
I watched the trailer. Normally, I don't go out of my way to avoid trailers, but I don't go looking for them either. Obviously, I wasn't just going to get up and move away from the TV. I watched the fucking trailer.
Of course.
It's a really well done trailer. It got me excited for it. I was going to go see this movie anyway, so it's not like I needed to be sold any more on it.
Sure.
But I'm actually looking forward to it now.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear that, baby. Ooh, baby. That's good. All right. Well, I'll definitely have that penciled in. One of the few times we'll be heading to the movie theaters this year.
Outside of that, I really didn't watch much this week, traveling back and forth to Ohio for Toyhio. I hope I get invited back at some point. I'd love to go back.
Couldn't imagine.
Even just as a shopper, just to be able to buy stuff.
Even as a shopper.
At one point, Brian and I, this is the one instance where I almost did buy something before the show. We come to a table, and it's an older guy at the table. He goes, "Oh, you know what you guys might be interested in?" And he reaches into this box and he pulls out this pristine on card ET glowing finger.
Really? Okay, this is interesting.
So Brian starts laughing like, who the fuck would want this? And I go, oh my God, this has been in my saved searches for years. So it's right in front of me, and it's like perfect. The card back is still like mint, and I'm going, how much do you want? He wants 100 for it. I should have just fucking bought it. Instead, I hemmed, I hawed, I thought about it. I went back to my table. I didn't get a chance to go back to that table. Someone did tell me it did sell pretty much as soon as the show opened after that. But I had my chance. I had it in my hands. The ET glowing finger. This thing, I don't know if you've ever seen it. You're going to have to put a picture up for the people watching on YouTube.
I will.
It basically looks like a flesh-colored dildo. It's one of the most, Google it right now while I'm talking. It's one of the most absurd pieces of merch or a toy or anything that you could ever put out for something. And it's just, I think it's hilarious. And I've wanted one for years. And it's not like so high up on my want list where I'm like willing to spend anything for it. But at that moment where it's in my hand, I should have just bought it.
Bro, this thing is hilarious looking, bro. Bro, this thing is... I get what they're trying to do, but bro, that thing is ribbed for her pleasure. And
yes,
that is just like...
And think about how popular ET was. So when the ET merch starts hitting stores, people are obviously buying this. And anyone with a heartbeat is thinking, I have to put this inside my lady friend.
And then, of course, they got to see if it glows while it's inside.
Yes, if you can see it from her tummy.
Of course.
So Brian is like amazed that not only do I know what it is, but that I want this and that it's on my searches. He cannot believe it. And then he looks at the guy selling it and he goes, hey, when you said, I think I have something you guys will be interested in, why did you think we would be interested in that? You just saw a fat guy in a captain's hat and said that looks like the type of guy who would want this?
Was he wrong?
He wasn't wrong. That's my, I'm really regretting that today. Like, I should have just bought it.
I'm upset. I didn't know about that. I would have yelled at you. Yes, you should have bought that, bro. What the hell? Unbelievable.
But otherwise, I really didn't get to watch anything outside of our movie. What about you this week? What else did you get into?
I got something we could talk about because I took your advice. I hopped onto the Netflix and I watched a little documentary about a little pop song from 1985, baby.
It's a good year.
Ooh, it's a good year. Yeah, I listened to The Greatest Night in Pop. I watched The Greatest Night in Pop about We Are the World. and I fucking loved it. I'm, I grew up in that time. I'm a baby, so like it's always been a thing, but I've never like, not that I never cared about it, but I never went searching about it,
Well, that's the
finding
thing.
anything about
When
it.
when the song comes out, you're 2, I'm 4,
Yeah,
like in that area.
I mean, yeah,
So by the time we're able to recognize music, it's just already a thing and it's been
it's
out
been a
for a
thing
couple
we've
of
heard
years.
forever.
The
Yeah,
starving children in Africa is
we've
just like
heard that
something your
all our lives,
grandmother says.
every
So
day.
the understanding of what that is or what it
Yeah,
means to get that many big time celebrities together in one place at one time to record one track is
yeah,
really lost on us just because we were too young to really comprehend
yeah,
what it meant in the moment. But then
100%.
like watching it now and you're just like, oh
This is
fuck, like
amazing.
yeah, like
Like,
how
this is
did
crazy
this
how they
happen?
fucking pulled this off. Like, these are stars. And how it's just like, oh, we called this one, and this one's doing it, so this one wants to do it, and boom, boom, boom. Still don't understand the Dan Aykroyd thing, other than I just wanted Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
I guess maybe because they said that when they were talking about how they wanted people from all different genres to try to get a little bit of everything. So maybe they wanted that young hip comedy kind of thing that he would
Well,
promote
at
it
that point,
or something.
Ghostbusters is red hot
You know
because
what I
that's
mean?
just
So
a
like
year after Ghostbusters. But Aykroyd's also well known for Blues
the
Brothers on
Blues Brothers,
SNL
I
and
know.
everything that he did there. So Aykroyd is a star, a legitimate star at that
Sure.
point.
So that was interesting. And then, like I said, just the way they pulled it off, how they did it on the night of a fucking award show, amazing. Had everyone in the room, the stuff with Prince, is he coming, not coming? I fucking loved it. I knew nothing about it. So this was all like, oh, oh, wow, really? Oh, like I was just, it was a great, great, great time.
And the fact that it's not just new footage, you know what I mean? Like they have all this footage from recording the quote unquote music video that came
Yes,
out that night.
we're not just watching people talk about it, we're actually watching it
And
happen. We're
we're
seeing
not just
Lionel
watching
Richie.
like
Yeah,
remake footage with people like in the shadow, like Dark Side
yes,
of the Ring or
no,
mystery series stuff. And then the amount of people that they got in to do new interviews and talk about it, like Lionel Richie, Huey Lewis, Cindy Law, like they brought those people are big stars and they were like
yes,
such a big part of it. And the fact that they were able to get them to come back and do interviews on this, these are like the real people behind it. It's not just, oh, here's the best boy that held the, that ran the
yeah,
wire, that, who
yes.
remembered being in the room that night.
So fun. Great, great stuff. You think they kicked themselves? They didn't get Madonna. They said, let's get Cyndi Lauper instead of Madonna. Damn, that would have been. I know
At
Cyndi
that point,
Lauper, but like, Madonna was like on that come up, and they were like,
Madonna would have been a star though, right?
I think
In
she's like,
85, to me,
I think she's
in
like,
my head, she's already there. But
yes,
it's
and
it's
it
it's almost
gets,
like the back and forth, like Cindy may have just had a more recent album. So
yeah,
now like Cindy's kind of ahead of her for the time being. I don't
yes.
know.
Because that's like when you look at all the people there and you think of the time, like that's pretty much like you got a lot of the main people there. Like that's who needed to be in
But
that
was there
room
a
at that moment.
feud between Cindy and Madonna that would have necessitated only one of them being in the room at that time?
No, I think just the way they had said it is they didn't want that same kind of not that they're similar, but that same I guess young girl kind of vibey
Mhm,
thing. They didn't want to have the same, it was too redundant because like I said, they were trying to reach everything because they wanted
mhm.
this to be the biggest song, you know, like that.
How much did you love the like when Cindy and Huey Lewis are doing like their part together? Is just Steve Perry sitting behind them, like watching like
Loved it.
like a college professor,
Yeah,
and then
that's
giving them
right.
pointers. Like it was
Oh, she's
that's the
like,
kind of
no.
stuff when you get those people who are at such a high level of their profession all around each other. I love to watch them interact with each other. Like, what are
Yes.
they saying to each other? What are they asking each other? How, is anyone intimidated to be around anyone else? Like that stuff is really where
Yeah,
I'm interested. Like to us, they're basically all on the same level, right? They're all
sure. But they're
celebrities,
not. Yeah.
but they're
But
not.
people still look up to people.
And
Yeah.
especially in their minds, I'm sure there's a pecking order.
Of course.
Oh, why does this guy have a solo and I don't? Why is this guy standing next to that person when I should be standing next to that person? So I'm sure that's a thing. And
100%.
yet they all seem to kind of put it aside for a night and just kind of, outside of Sheila E., who got sick of feeling used, which I don't even blame her for.
100%. They're both, I get they want to, she's good enough. She could be in there. She's hot at the moment. It makes sense. But then also, hey, maybe if Prince comes, like, I get it. And then I get her being like, fuck you, bro. You just want Prince, you jerks. But you see how they didn't fight her to stay. They're like,
yeah,
all right, I guess if you want to leave, all right.
But what they say, Waylon Jennings was there. And
yes, he left.
He just, it felt like almost no time. He just had it. And he was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And just got up and left. And that was it.
That's it. Hey, it's not for everybody.
Not for everyone. It's a tough business on families.
Yes. So definitely check this out if you're at all interested in music history. Just it's a very important moment in pop music history. Something that we don't get shit like that. We get Imagine on Zoom with fucking Wonder Woman. Like, we don't get we don't get shit like that. Like, so, it's pretty amazing.
No, it really is, when you think about it, almost miraculous that they were able to pull off what they did with the amount of people that they had for it, and to get those people to even agree to it in the first place.
These people, they make these Avenger movies. These people aren't in the same room with each other. These people don't interact. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just thinking at a movie with 10 people, it's like, oh, this one's got this schedule, this, that. Everything's a green screen.
Yeah,
we watch shows. We're like, did they talk to each other at all? I don't,
Especially when people are just doing voiceover work and they're like, oh, well, what was it like to read with this person? They're like, oh, we were never even in the same room together.
Which is crazy. Like, how do you not bounce off? Like, that's part of acting, bouncing off of someone. You don't know what kind of performance this person's giving. Like,
even I was just watching, I think I was on TikTok, and this video with Matt Damon came up. I think it was Matt Damon. And he's talking about doing a movie with Jack Nicholson. And he's like, Jack is like telling Damon, hey, don't stop when you do your lines. I'm just going to bounce some stuff off. That way, at the end of it, the director has a whole bunch of options, or, the editor has a whole bunch of options with the way he wants to go. And he was playing I want to say it was some kind of Scorsese movie or something. And I think it was The Departed, actually. And Jack was like this villainous guy, so he wanted to play it more and more sinister. And so he just keeps adding on lines. And, he's like, and then the camera's going to stop. He's like, and then the line stops, but then I'll keep going. And he just keeps adding on more and more bits to it, where it just makes him more of a horrible human being. And when you get to the end, it's like Jack Nicholson has pushed the limits of, is this even acceptable for an R-rated movie? And the way Damon tells it, he does the voice really good too. So he's just adding on and on. But it's that kind of stuff where they're in the same room, they're on the same set, they're filming together, and he's able to do this, and he's not adding anything to the budget. He's not adding anything to he's just adding options for the filmmakers to have and directions they want to go with this. And it was like a really, every now and then you come across like these really cool bits of interviews or whatever when you're scrolling through your social media. And this was one of them where I was like, fuck, that is really awesome.
I was just telling Kellyanne the other day how, I miss buying a DVD and having, that behind the scenes footage, having the director's commentary, because I signed up for one of these streaming services, and they actually had, some of the movies had audio commentary options. And I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I said, oh, I'm gonna love it on here, because I miss this. I miss watching a movie and then watching it again and having them explain how they did things, watching the behind the scenes feature. Like, I used to love getting DVDs. Oh, this one's got 4 discs. Oh shit, there's a fucking 3-hour making of. I love that shit, because I love movies. I want to see how they make it. And I miss that. Every once in a while, you come across something on Twitter of an interview or something, and you get something like that, and I go, "Damn, that's what I miss." I love that shit.
And speaking of movies we love, JoeMeZ, we did watch one to continue Romance Month over here at the JoeMeZ podcast. This is the 2004 film, The Notebook.
Oh, baby, I'm excited for this.
And it stars Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams as our main characters. Film runs about 2 hours and 3 minutes. A runaway hit in theaters. It had a $29 million budget, did 81 and change domestically, worldwide total $118.2 million. So obviously a smash hit. And I've never seen this movie before this week, but I do have a story that includes you. And you don't remember this because I brought it up to you and you said you don't remember why we would have a story about The Notebook.
Here we go.
Back in 2004 was a good year for movies, by the way, because we had Mean Girls, we had Anchorman, we had Dodgeball, and then we had a little movie called Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
I remember now.
JoeMeZ, me, and some of our friends were going to a special sneak preview of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. So we all meet up one evening. We're in the city in Manhattan, and we go to the movie theater, and we're waiting outside for whatever movie is showing to let out before we're allowed in to go watch this preview of Harold and Kumar. And we're out there. I think I'm the oldest at that point, and I think I was 22.
Yeah.
So as people are filing out of the theater, every single one of them looks like they just watched their dog die. Every single one of them, red eyes, dripping with tears, some holding tissues, like just absolute, looks like they just came from a funeral. It looked like a funeral just let out. And we're standing right outside the door making dick and fart jokes because that's what we do. And that's what we were there for.
Well, that's what we're there for.
What movie did those people come out of, JoeMeZ? The Notebook.
Oh my goodness, bro. I watched this alone this week. My wife, she's like, I don't know if I want to. It's such a sad movie. And then we started talking about it and just talking about what the movie's about. She started tearing up and started getting emotional. Like, I can't. That movie's too much. And we just, oh, what a picture here. I can't wait.
I've never seen it before this week. What about you? You've seen it before then?
Yes, of course. We had to. But, when you do Love Month, I do that every once in a while. I try to catch up on these things. Plus, I have a wife who loves these type of movies. You got to watch it once in a while. So, yeah, I have seen The Notebook a few times.
So this is based on the novel by Nicholas Sparks. In the year 2004, this came in domestically as the number 32 highest grossing movie domestically. It was behind SpongeBob SquarePants the movie, and it was ahead of Alien versus Predator.
A fucking movie, bro. Jesus
Do you know what was number one in 2004, JoeMeZ?
2004. Let me think. A Harry Potter movie. Harry Potter.
There's Harry Potter, I think, was in the top 5, but not number one.
I don't know. What would it be?
Number one was Shrek 2.
Oh, fucking Shrek's a monster. Yeah, okay.
441.4 million domestically.
Fucking, that's so insane, bro. Wow. Fucking Shrek.
So critics are kind of split on this movie. IMDb gives it a 7.8. To me, that's a great score.
That is a great score.
The Rotten Tomatoes score, however, the critic score, 54% fresh.
Oh wow, that's 54 is fresh. Okay,
that's pretty low. What I was thinking,
yeah,
because even though I'd never seen the movie, I've heard enough about it and know enough people who talk about it, and know enough people how this affected them. Where I'm like, this movie obviously has a lot of things going for it. So 54% to me seemed very low.
Yeah.
But then I look at the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, and this may be the biggest discrepancy I've seen since we started tracking these things.
Oh man.
The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is an 85% fresh. So an
Yeah, big
increase
difference.
of 31% from the
That's a lot.
audience to the critics. So, according to IMDb, this movie is about an elderly man who reads to a woman with dementia the story of two young lovers whose romance is threatened by the difference in their respective social classes.
So it's interesting because I didn't know they would promote it like that about the wraparound story, because when you watch on HBO Max, the plot summary is in the 1940s, teenage debutante Allie and local boy Noah spend one passionate, carefree summer together and fall deeply in love. But when the summer ends, war and duty separate the young couple. Straightforward, nothing
But
else.
that's not, to me, that's not a good description of what actual happens in the movie, because it's not the war that separates them.
No, it's not. I know. That's what I mean.
So
So it's very interesting how they're promoting the movie here.
yeah, what I think the IMDb description is an actual really good synopsis of the full encapsulation of the movie. The HBO one, I would have went in there expecting a different type of movie.
Even on Letterboxd, they mention the old man and stuff, but once again, they bring up separated by World War II. So they're making it seem like that's the only reason that they were apart. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
So at the beginning of this movie, we're in a nursing home, a hospice center, where this gentleman, Duke, comes in to read to this older woman who has dementia. And you can see early on she has dementia. And he's just there to read to her. And you kind of don't think anything of it. And then he starts telling her the story, and we're transported back in time to now watching it take place in front of our eyes. And we meet Allie, the young debutante, who is Rachel McAdams in Savannah, Georgia. This is not Savannah, Georgia, by the way. This is in South Carolina.
Yes,
Charleston, South Carolina.
It's all the same.
Turns out she's from a very well-to-do family.
Yes.
And
Big
Noah,
bucks.
as played by Ryan Gosling, is not like a bad kid by any means, but he's
street rat, bro. Piece of shit.
Rat, but he has a job. He goes to work at the lumber mill or whatever.
But that's not a proper job.
That's not a respectable job. He only makes like 40 cents an hour.
40 cents. And they're like, oh, fucking gasp.
So her family does not approve at all. And yet she's planning to go to school and she's not going to be there anymore. So there's no purpose in even keeping their relationship going. And eventually, like, he gets fired up from her dad talking shit about him, and he ends up leaving, and she ends up leaving. Family runs out of town as under the cloak of darkness. That way they can get her away from him as fast as they can. And he spends the next year in absolute misery because his Allie has left him. And he writes a letter every day to her. And she never gets them because her mother's waiting by the mailbox every day to intercept those letters. Like an evil witch.
Unbelievable, bro. That's a lot of fucking mail to be hiding, bro.
And now, in this time, 7 years go by. Noah does never move on from Allie in his mind. Sure, he may be out there drilling some other local townies, but still, Allie is number one for him. Am I wrong? What am I supposed to say?
No, yes. Listen, he's still, he's still going out doing his thing, but it doesn't equal to Allie. It's not the same.
Nothing will ever live up to Allie in his mind. In fact, once he comes back from the war and he gets the GI Bill, and his dad sells the house that they were living in and gives the money to Noah so he could buy his dream house, which was this old, decrepit, rundown house on the edge of town that he always dreamed of buying with Allie. And he rebuilds it in the manner that she told him she would like to see it decorated. The white paint, the blue shutters, the way she would want the floor because he used to bring her there. on their date nights so they could get it in peace away from their families.
Of course.
And eventually this gets into the paper over what this beautiful house that this guy has built.
Yeah.
And in this time, we're talking about 7 years have lapsed now, but since Allie and Noah have gone their separate ways, Allie's met another guy, Lon Hammond, who's played by James Marsden, who we know from Cyclops in the X-Men movies. We know from Jury Duty. We know from the Sonic the Hedgehog movies.
Yes. It's great. We love James Marsden. He's great.
He's very good. But, you know, he doesn't have like the panache of like the other charming guys out there. You know, all the Chris's and whatever.
Yeah.
But James Marsden is a handsome son of a bitch.
He's handsome. He's got that charm. I love him.
He's just got a great smile.
Yes, that smile, that laugh. It's good. James Marsden's a good time.
The smile, it's like, it's inviting yet mischievous at the same time.
Yes. He played he plays like a prince in one of those movies. And he's
he could be a prince, right? Yeah, he's a good
prince.
Great prince. So, and he becomes engaged to Allie. And he's not even a bad guy. It's not like he treats her badly. It's not like he yells at her or abuses her in any way. He's a stand-up good guy. Yet the second she sees Noah in this newspaper in front of that house, she can't help but have to go back to South Carolina and see him one more time. And what happens? Those fireworks ignite immediately. Instant. And she says, you know what? I can't do this. I can't go back to Lon Hammond. And she ends up staying with Noah, and their love story unfolds. Now, there are some... what would you call them?
Yeah.
Some stumbling blocks along the way.
Some obstacles along the way. Yes, of course.
But that's the most part. And then as we go back to our older people, you know, in the future... the woman starts coming out of her dementia fog for a little bit, and she goes, I think I've heard this story before. I think I'm in it. Turns out this is Noah and Allie as older people, and Allie is suffering from dementia, and Noah is now in the old folks' home with her, and every day he wakes up and reads from the notebook to her because she had written out their love story and said on the opening page, she like inscribes it to Noah, no matter where I am, if you read this, I'll come back to you. So he looks at that and says, as long as he reads her this story, it hopefully will jog her memory and bring her out of the dementia. And the doctor keeps saying, it's not going to help, but yet she has these brief periods where she does come out of it, and she's old Allie again. She remembers him and remembers their lives, and it is one of the most heartbreaking things I have ever seen.
It is
in
so
my
sad,
life,
bro. She doesn't remember. Yeah, it's pretty.
There's one scene in particular where she comes out of it, and he's so excited. And it lasts for, I don't know, like a genuine 2 minutes before it seeps back in and she forgets who he is, what they were doing. She starts screaming because she's scared of this strange man.
Who is this person in here? Yeah.
It is
rough.
Heartbreaking.
It is. That's the scene, bro. That's the scene.
I could not, and I'm sitting here on the couch watching this movie, knowing I gotta wake up at 4:30 a.m. the next day to get on a plane to go to Toyhio. And I am fucking balling, bro. SpongeBob tears. JoeMeZ, put up a fucking video of SpongeBob tears right now. I'm sitting here alone by myself, bawling because I genuinely love. And this is absolutely emotionally gut-wrenching.
It's heartbreaking, bro. It's so rough.
I can't believe I cared so much. I think both performers are excellent in this movie, Gosling and McAdams.
So
I
good.
think they do a great job. And I think the older people, it's Gina Rowland, who plays the older Allie, and James Garner, who plays older Noah. And I wasn't picking up like this is supposed to be Noah and Allie at first.
Yes.
And then like there's like
They
a
try not
reveal.
to.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes.
It wrecked me. It wrecked me. And at one point, their kids come to visit.
Yes.
And Allie has no idea who they are. So she's just like, oh, it's very nice to meet you. And he's like, and they're telling him, Dad, you can come home. Like, we need you at home. And he's like, I'm not leaving your mother. This is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm just like, my fucking God, man. Jesus Christ. SpongeBob tears. For like the last hour of this movie, I did not stop bawling my eyes out.
Oh,
By the time we're like halfway through number one, you watch a movie on streaming. You once the credits hit, you hit the back button or whatever. I'm such a mess. The credits are just rolling. The sad music is playing, and I just sit there, like trying to mop up my tears, wondering if I'm dehydrated now because of how much fluid I've lost through my fucking tear ducts during the 2 hours and 3 minutes of this movie. Am I even healthy? And now I'm such an emotional mess. I can't even go to sleep. I slept like an hour and a half that night. It took me 2 more hours to even be able to fall asleep after this. What a fucking pulling on the emotional heartstrings that this movie was.
Oh, that's what it is. It's such a great love story. Seeing these people fall in love, and they're just young and just so full of it, and you're just like, oh, these kids, they're gonna make it. And they go through their troubles, and they get back together, and then for it to just end that way, it's very realistic. It's a very
in a lot of
real
ways,
thing.
it reminded me of my own parents.
Of
For
course.
what my dad was going through. And he
Yes.
never got to the point where he was full on dementia, but he was
But he
diagnosed
had
with
his
early
moments,
onset
yeah.
dementia for
Yeah.
years, that he was dealing with it. And he never full on forgot like
Yeah.
who my mom was or who I was or anything. But he certainly had memory lapses. And my
Yes, he'd
mom
be
would just
confused. Yeah.
sit there because that's where I'm supposed to be. And then when my dad died, my mom basically was like, I don't know what else to do. So she would sit in the chair that she would sit in next to my dad's bed and kind of just wait it out. And that's realistically what it comes down to is for 10 months, she just waited to go see my dad again. So this movie hit me on that level, hit me on the regular emotional romance level. And I'm sitting there going,
it's just a mess.
I was a fucking wreck. And then I'm sitting there going, this is fucking beautiful. I love that these people had what they had. I love Allie and Noah. I miss my parents. And this is something I'll probably never have in my life. And I feel like, I was
Jesus.
like, I want this. Like, I want that. I want someone to
Of
fucking
course.
read to me. I would write a notebook. I got plenty of notes.
Oh, baby. Oh. Still time, baby.
No, because I'm old and
God, old love is still love. Old love is still love, bro.
No.
Love is love, no matter when
all I
you
have
get
left is hot Floridian sex.
God bless.
So a couple things I learned about this movie after looking into it. Ryan Gosling was like the guy they wanted once the director was in place. The director actually was Nick Cassavetes.
Yes.
And his mom is actually Gina Rowland, who played older Allie.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So when they show the pictures, like of the throughout the year pictures of Allie and Noah as they got older, it's actually Gina Rowland and her husband, and they like kind of digitally altered the photos to put James Garner's face on them, but it's actually her and her husband throughout the years, who's the father of obviously the director Nick Cassavetes. But when he took over this job, because it had bounced around, the script had bounced around for a couple of years with different people being attached to it. At one point, Steven Spielberg wanted to direct this, and he wanted Tom Cruise, which seems odd to me because even at that point in like 96, where he would have had the script on his desk, like Cruise would have been too old to be the Noah character.
Way too old.
And some of these people that were George Clooney at one point, and it's like, what do we, Ashley Judd, who I think is good, but it's like they're too old. Like this is supposed to be about like young love.
It's supposed to be a little young love. And no, I don't like that.
And then as time went on and the script bounced around a little bit, Justin Timberlake becomes attached to this and then ends up either dropping out or being moved on. And the next choice behind Ryan Gosling, if they wouldn't have gotten Gosling, would have been Hayden Christensen, who we all know as Anakin Skywalker. God. I killed them all, Padme, even the younglings.
How did that's right after those prequel. Like, this is wow. I can't imagine you give him that vehicle like that. Wow.
And at some point, the list of names of female actresses who auditioned for the role of Allie seems like a who's who. I mean, you have holy shit, I just blanked on her name. But Legally Blonde.
Reese Witherspoon.
Like there's all these names of any girl who was possibly popular at the time. Is Jessica Biel is on this list. There's a ton of people. You know who was the second choice behind Rachel McAdams, though?
Interesting. Here we go. I'm interested.
Britney Spears.
Oh, that's so weird.
Weird. Because the movie she had done was that Crossroads film.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. What made
you think
no one had anything good to say about the movie or her performance in the movie? So to put someone who's not like a real actor in this role seems like a real wide swing and a miss.
Interesting.
But Gosling prepared for this movie by moving himself to Charleston, South Carolina for 2 months before filming, and he would row across the river every morning, and then he would build furniture during the day to kind of get in the headspace for like what kind of guy he would be, the Noah character would be.
That's so fun.
And originally upon meeting, Gosling and McAdams couldn't stand each other.
Hysterical, really?
To the point where he was trying to get her fired from the movie.
How could anyone not love this girl? What are we doing?
They did not get along. Finally, the director has to like pull them into a room and have like the Festivus airing of the grievances.
Shut the fuck up. Let's go.
Like, get it all out, lay it out on the table. We're going to fucking work tomorrow. So get everything out. So they have this venting session. They go back to work. They start getting along a lot better. And then they even end up dating for a period after the conclusion of this movie.
Yeah. So funny.
So the footage of Britney Spears auditioning for the role of Allie actually went up on eBay for $1 million in May of 2021.
What the fuck? That's wild.
It's out there.
Oh, man. Okay.
Won the best kiss at the 2005 MTV Movie Awards, obviously for that iconic scene.
What do you
Kiss
want?
in the Rain.
What do you want? It's great scene.
And JoeMeZ talking about how much he misses DVDs. This is an abundant DVD because it sold over 11 million copies.
Wow. Crazy.
A lot of DVDs.
That is a lot of DVDs. That's like you see that clip of Matt Damon on Hot Ones talking about how, you know, once DVDs kind of went away, that kind of ruined the industry because that was, look at that, 11 million. Like, that's a lot of money,
income
that is now
left gone. Yeah,
that's disappeared. Money that, you know, they counted on, like, oh, we'll make it up in the back end. You know, we were close, but the DVD sales will push us over.
But yet the DVD money was actually like found money too, because there wasn't that kind of market for home movies in that abundance before
Yeah, it
DVDs
never
became
was, or
prevalent.
before it just became a
It was
boom.
it was certain movies would come out on home video to be like the big blockbuster hits. Oh, get Batman, get the Ninja Turtles. Kids movies especially were big on VHS. But for the most part, you were going to a video store, you were renting them. So video stores were buying a lot of movies. And then once they would get tired of all their copies, maybe you buy them in a discount bin as the
Yeah, the
video store is
discount
trying to
bin.
clear them out. But as far as home video libraries, DVDs is a very short period of time that just became a boom for the entire industry, especially the television industry, where you weren't getting all of these shows in reruns. Now, all of a sudden, you could basically watch any show from any time period whenever you wanted. The Dukes of Hazzard, I loved it when I was 3. It was the theme to my 3rd birthday party. And yet I still felt like I needed to buy it on
You say,
DVD.
did you need the complete
When
series? No.
No, I didn't.
No.
Because I put it on, I go, holy shit, this fucking sucks. So I watched it once, if even I got through it the one time, and then it went on a shelf and sat there until I sold it for 40 cents at some place willing to take it.
So funny. It's true though. We bought everything. Bought everything and anything. Why? Why not? I like this movie. I'm gonna watch it one day.
And
Still
GoeMeZ
in
and
the
I have
attic.
spoken about this before, but Tuesdays you would get the Best Buy circular on Sunday with your newspaper. You'd look
Get
through it,
hyped.
what's coming out on DVD, and then you'd show up on Tuesday and get your media, because Tuesday was new media day, new DVDs, new CDs, new video games, whatever you wanted came out on a Tuesday, and you would flock to go get it. And yeah, there's a lot of money being left on the table right now, but I mean, I love not having to get out of my house to go watch a movie now.
I do, and I don't. I still enjoy it, but I'm not gonna lie, I do love just, we're done with the podcast. Let me put on a movie right now. I don't gotta put on pants. You know how many times I go after the podcast, I think I'm gonna run to the movies and catch something. And I'm like, you know what? I'm
not
tired
going
now.
out now.
I'm not going out. It's fucking 8, 9 o'clock. I'm done. Like, forget it.
Even the other day, I was watching a video on YouTube. I got up to grab something out of the kitchen. As the video ended, it just auto played into whatever it's selected for me. And I told you, YouTube has all these movies now. So it just auto selected The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, which is a movie I've never watched, like start to finish. I've only seen in parts,
bits and pieces. Okay.
like when it was on cable or whatever.
Cable, it's on cable a lot.
So this is the first time I'm actually sitting here watching this movie, and then it was just on. So I'm like, well, it's got Sandler, it's got Chris Rock, it's got Terry Crews and Goldberg and Kevin Nash and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the Great Khali is here. I'm gonna watch it. And I sat down, I watched the whole fucking movie.
That was me the other day after the WWE Wrestlemania Press Conference. I walked away. I come back. The Dark Knight's playing. I'm like, all right, I will just watch this one scene. And I watched the one scene. Then I look away, and then the Joker's back on, and I'm watching it again. And I'm like, all right, I'll turn this off in a minute. And then I watched all fucking 2.5 hours of the Dark Knight because it was there.
And we're gonna get to this WrestleMania press conference in a second, but GoeMeZ, let's hit some music first.
Sure.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you a man? Are you a man?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear about this. 2004's classic, The Notebook. Joe, where does this fall on your main man standings?
So, like I was saying, critically, it's a very divisive movie, and I really don't understand why. Sometimes I think critics like to shit on things just for the sake of shitting on them. This movie makes you feel things. And at the end of the day, with any kind of form of art, that's really what you want, right? You want people to feel things from what you're putting out there. And this movie really fucking got me, man. I was a mess by the end of it. And I was a mess because I was attached to these characters and I gave a shit. I was buying what they were selling. And sure, you want to point out that maybe the script is a little light. It's a little thin. Who gives a shit? It's wonderfully portrayed by all the people in here. You get the little bit of the period piece, so I understand people don't like that kind of stuff every now and then. For me, it works just fine. For me, it's all about the relationships, and they all hit on all cylinders. I think this movie is really, really good. And like I said, it was an absolute mess, and it did. I sat there going, this is something I'm probably never going to have in my lifetime, and I felt really bad about that. It was nice to feel something. I like feeling things. I like when my movies make me feel that level of attachment to them. So I'm going to give it a 3.5 main man. I think this movie's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I'm going to give it the 4. I'm going to give it the nice full number there. Nice 4. The movie's great. If you're looking to feel, this is your movie. You're going to feel all the things. You're going to be so happy, so sad. You're going to be so angry at the mother. You're going to be all over the place. And it's a great movie. It is good. I'm so happy. Look at this. Love Month. Oh, baby. What a great movie to watch during Love Month. That's boom.
Oh, so Gomez, we have one more week of Love Month to go.
Well, see, now here's the thing, Joe. We got one more week of Love Month, but we also have a new release movie in the movie theater, Joe, that maybe, I don't know, maybe we should say, I don't know.
Maybe we should, because I don't know if we're going to be able to top this Notebook.
Well, but here's the thing. Let's see. The new release movie, Joe, is Madam Web. Now,
maybe we should just watch another movie.
So, I understand. Maybe we don't want to rush to the theater to see Madam Web. So how about we do this? I came up with this idea. Tell me if you like what I'm throwing out here, Joe. All right. Madam Web is out this week. Stars my double main man, Dakota Johnson. Okay. How about we watch a Dakota Johnson movie, but we watch one that we could sit in our homes and watch. Maybe we put on HBO Max. We do a little search and we pump in 50 Shades of Grey, Joe. How about we end our love month with something just as important as love, right? In a relationship, you need some love, but you need some of that physical chemistry, right? You gotta get down there. So how about we do that, Joe? Let's watch some 50 Shades of Grey. How's that sound?
I'm with it. I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey. But I remember when the book was all the rage.
This was a thing.
This was a huge thing for like that whole year, it felt like. And honestly, it felt like a bunch of middle-aged people who had never really had sex outside of the missionary position before. So I'm interested to see if it's as scandalous as it's supposed to be, or as people think it is.
Yes. There are 3 movies in this series. You do not
I'm
have
not
to
watching
watch all 3. Of course, do not. Just watch the first one. It's on HBO Max. I forget the runtime. I want to say it's around 2 hours, but it's not like 2.5, 3. It's not like that. Mm-hmm. Very interested to talk about this movie with you, Joe. Very interested.
So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be for next week. I do want to touch on the WrestleMania press conference this week.
Real fast. Let's get into that.
So the WWE is pivoting because The Rock is getting booed everywhere.
Yes,
they come out
for that.
Cody said, "You know what? I've thought about it, and I'm not going to pass up my shot. I want Roman Reigns." And then they proceeded to make fun of each other's family. The Rock has a problem with Cody talking about his family, yet it's okay for Roman Reigns to talk about Cody's dad
all day.
And then they try to do this work shoot thing where it looks like Roman Reigns is subservient to The Rock, and Seth Rollins is just kind of glad to be hanging out with the guys. Honestly, I think they need to pivot again.
Oh no! What are you thinking here?
Because this has become such a big thing for the fans, and you're going into a town like Philadelphia for WrestleMania.
Oh, yes, bro. I bet you that had something to do with it.
The heat at this point is not for Cody winning the belt. The audience is not here for Cody versus Roman at this point. I really don't think so. The match you have to have now, because the heat is where this is Cody versus The Rock. And I don't want to hear about, oh, they could do this on night 1 and this on night 2. No, that just minimizes the impact of those appearances.
I don't like that.
I don't want that at all. When you have to make multiple appearances like that in a 2-night event, I just don't like it.
There's
Cody
enough people. You don't need it.
Versus The Rock. And this is an easy sell to me because Cody's still getting his story. He just needs to add in an extra chapter before he can finish it.
Yes. The story doesn't have to be WrestleMania. He just has to win that belt. That's the story.
Correct. And now what you can do is you have Roman face Drew or whoever, which will be a good match. And Roman can win, and it doesn't hurt anyone. And then he could go on and pass Hogan. And we got to stop saying Hogan's record. Hogan doesn't have a record. Hogan's like number fucking 4 on this list. Yes. So there's no record here.
Yes, it's just
but
Hogan's,
he could go on and pass Hogan and then lose to Cody at SummerSlam. But what you get out of this is Cody versus The Rock, and Cody has to go over. Now you put the notch on Cody that he even beat The Rock at WrestleMania. Which it's a 50-year-old Rock, but he's still the fucking Rock.
Yes, listen, no matter what, The Rock is the main event. If it's going to be Rock and Roman or Rock and Cody, The Rock needs to be in that main event. I mean, listen, I don't love Cody, but everyone loves Cody, whatever. But at the end of the day, let's not be silly here. Roman Reigns versus The Rock, that's a generational WrestleMania moment. Like that's a match you can't turn down. You cannot turn down doing that.
I honestly think you have to turn it down now because I think the base is so fired up about what's going on that it's become Team Cody, Team Rock. And now you need to use that dynamic to your advantage. And yes, Roman versus The Rock is the family, it's the bloodline, it's the two hyper, possibly Rushmores of their respective times against each other. But Cody's the guy right now. And especially if The Rock wants to keep doing this heel stuff, why are you going to have him go against Roman? Roman's not going to be the baby
now
face.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make sense now. But I mean, if they're going to do this tag match, which is how it seems like, they put out like a little teaser.
What a waste. I don't know if is that going to be an elimination chamber thing people are saying? I can't see The Rock wanting to get on a fucking plane to go to Australia and wrestle at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's the thing. Not the 3. If it was a regular pay-per-view, I think things would be different. But this 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast shit, that ain't flying. I don't think so. We got 5 weeks or something.
We still got 5 weeks of TV. But I will say, with as much as people are bitching and moaning, they're all paying attention.
Bro.
And Triple H is still having an incredible week. So, JoeMeZ, with that said, let's hit some music.
It is now time for the big finish. Let's wrap this show up with a spinning of the wheel. What's it gonna be? Oh, okay.
I thought it was gonna get there. It was slowing down.
It was very close. It was very close to another fuck, marry, kill. But no, this week we have a would you rather. And Joe, would you rather every time you come, the song All-Star by Smash Mouth plays, or would you want to come every time the song All-Star by Smash Mouth plays?
Oh no, I want it to play when I come. That's easy.
Yeah, It's loud. Everybody knows. There's no
But
hiding.
I don't give a shit because there just be a
You
lot
don't
more
give-
coming that way. It's very rare that I get to like I don't listen to the radio really, so I could possibly go like a year without fucking popping a nut, and
It's
I
true.
can't be having that. So I'd rather just deal with everybody knowing when I'm doing it. When I'm by myself, when I'm with other people, when I'm with lots of people, when I'm with the furry convention, maybe I'm just in the bathroom at work. I don't give a shit. People just need to know because I can't go through life just waiting for this song to come on and calling, I don't know, Z100 Elvis Duran in the Z Morning Zoo. Please play this fucking song for me. I gotta get this out of me. I can't have this.
I think that's the correct choice, especially if you're someone who's out and about. I mean, you don't want to be in the supermarket. You don't want to be in ShopRite having a nice stroll, getting some Sunday groceries. Next thing you know, you're on the floor shaking because this damn song came over the PA system. So I think you gotta just own it. You know, hey, I'm coming. Guess what, folks? This is what's happening.
Guess what? Somebody once told me.
Oh, that's a fun one, Joe. Listen. Hit him with them plugs. Let's get out of here.
Guys, thanks for listening. Remember to follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. Remember to hit subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. If you're watching on YouTube at youtube.com/@JoeMeZ. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us some comments and some likes. Share it with your friends. And join our Facebook group over on, Facebook, obviously. It's free. And you can just search JoeMeZ Podcast. We come right up. We're going to have the poll going up for our March Madness. What do you want to see? You want to see Stallone versus Schwarzenegger? You want to see sports movies? You want to see 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010 action movies? And what was even the other one, Gomez? I know there was a fourth option.
Adam Sandler versus Jim Carrey.
Adam Sandler versus Jim Carrey. That's a hell of a fourth option. Honestly,
That's a good one.
I'm not going to vote in this because I would kind of want to do all of them at some point.
I want to do all of them. So we honestly do not care which one you guys pick because we're gonna have a good time either way. But if there's one you're more into, let us know. We want to have fun. Come on.
You can follow all my stuff at the Joe Shoes on all the various versions of social media. And of course, youtube.com/Joe Shoes to see all my food review videos and other happenings, whatever else I'm getting into. So check all that stuff out.
The JoeMeZ 154, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, all the fun stuff. My Twitch stream at Mez Movie. Oh, baby. I have a feeling I'm going to be popping on soon. I got some weird movies I've got my hands on. I want to share with some folks.
Oh, baby. We'll be back next week, finishing off Romance Month with 50 Shades of Grey showing on HBO Max if you guys want to watch along at home. And then it's on to March Madness. So that poll will be up there this week. Make sure you get in and vote. But otherwise, Gomez, let's make like Tom and cruise.
Peace.